Kiss me, Linda, and we can fly lying down. Wow! What the hell? Wow, that really works!
Hello name nerds, my name is Patrick and welcome to Fun with First Names, where each week we look into the meaning, origin and some extra fun facts behind one specific first name. And this week we're looking into the first name of Linda. But before we begin, I want to say a huge thank you to Grey Computer for becoming a new patron. I think you're a returning patron, that name rings a bell. Thank you very much, Grey Computer, for joining the fun once again. And I also want to say a huge thank you to one Haystacks/Twickenham Hamster and Mel Cox. They both left a super thanks in the most recent week. So if you're unaware, super thanks or super comment, I think it's super thanks or super comments, is a feature on YouTube where you can make a one-time donation to help support the channel. I really appreciate it. If you want to help support Name Explain but don't want to commit to a monthly donation like we've on Patreon, feel free to leave a super thanks. It helps out amazingly and I just super appreciate it. I'm going to shout out everyone who leaves a super thanks in these videos from here on out. But if you do want to commit to a monthly donation of say just $1 a month, $2 a month, however much you feel comfortable living with, Patreon is the way to do it. Through Patreon you get ad-free videos, exclusive content and a chance to say what names get explained. Like you get to vote on names covered in Fun with First Names, you get to request a video for the Request Wednesday videos, so much waiting for you there. And you can watch all those videos ad-free. All those pesky ads I put in the middle of these videos, you have to do all of them over on Patreon, which is amazing. So patreon.com/explain, link down below. But if you don't want to commit to a monthly donation, leave a super thanks if you can afford to, or just carry on watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. Just do that. This is always going to be free because, well, that's just how YouTube works, I suppose. But anyway, on with today's name of Linda. And the name Linda sounds awfully similar to the name Lindsay. So that got me thinking, is there actually any connection between these two names? Like, do Linda and Lindsay have the same meaning? Do they come from the same root? Do they have the same origin? That's what I was wondering about when I heard the name Linda and thought about Lindsay. And I can safely say, after doing some research, that the answer is no. There's no connection between the name Linda and Lindsay. So if that's what you wanted to know, feel free to leave now. You've seen the Patreon plug, so you know, you can go now. Or maybe do consider sticking around because I've got a bit more explaining to do. That'd be appreciated. But yeah, Linda and Lindsay is just another coincidence of two names that sound similar but have nothing in common at all. I'm gonna put this down because it's just getting in the way of things. Cool, let's carry on. So let's start with the origin of the name Linda, the name this video is all about. It's actually a name of Germanic origin, and it's actually the feminine form of the masculine Germanic name of Linde. Linda? I kind of heard it pronounced two different ways. It's definitely not pronounced just Lind, which I thought it would be with a silent E on the end. That doesn't appear to be the case. And this masculine name of Linde is actually a shortening of two other Germanic names, those being, and apologies for pronunciation here, I'm gonna have to check, I'm reading off my screen, are Dieterlinde and Siegerlinde. I think I pronounced it right. I checked earlier, but my mind's like a sieve these days. I can hear a word and forget how it's pronounced straight away, but those two big words are where this word of Linde comes from. But yeah, this means that the name Linda is actually the feminine form of a shortening of a masculine name, which is a little bit roundabout to say the least. But what does the Linde or Linda in these names actually even mean? Well, it's thought to come from the Germanic word-forming element of lind, meaning soft and mild. And this is also where it's believed we got the linden tree from, the name of the linden tree from, because these trees got associated with people who are very soft and kind in nature. I didn't know that myself, but that's something I read, so there's something you've learned as well. You're welcome. But there's actually another theory on the name, that being it comes from the Spanish/Portuguese word of linda, meaning beautiful. This makes a lot of sense as well. Names often mean things like pretty and beautiful, so this makes sense. And this is also the etymology a lot of baby name books and baby name websites like to reference, because it sounds a lot nicer. You don't wanna, I mean, soft and mild is nice as well, I suppose, is the name meaning, but beautiful just sounds nicer. People would be more tempted to call their child Linda if they thought the name meant beautiful, and it might very well mean that. So what about the name Lindsay? Well, it has absolutely nothing to do with being beautiful, I'm afraid. Lindsay is another location-based name, coming from the Anglo-Saxon Kingdom of Lindsey here in the United Kingdom. It's roughly where Lincolnshire is today, and they have sort of similar etymological roots to Lindsay, Lincolnshire. Sounds similar, all comes from the same place. Also, like, what happens in Lincolnshire? Like, I know it exists. I know it's kind of like just on the East Midlands, if that's a term you want to use. But I have no idea what happens in Lincolnshire. If you're watching from Lincolnshire, let me know what goes on there. It seems like most parts of the UK have quite a strong cultural image. They've got Yorkshire above it, East Anglia sort of below it, the Midlands over there, the Northwest, the Northeast, the Southwest, the Southeast. Just the East Midlands, I don't know. Let me know what's happening there if you're watching from there. I'm curious to know. It's the mystery of the UK of England anyway, at least. So while these two names might sound similar, there is no etymological link between the two of them. It's just a big old coincidence. But still, it made a good enough hook for this video, right? Linda is the 850th most popular girl's name over in the USA, and it's really far from its heyday. And Linda was a hugely popular name for a time. From 1947 to 1952, Linda was the #1 girl's baby name in the USA, and that's kind of given the name Linda a certain image of being sort of a name for older women. Of course, they weren't old women when they were born. It was a cool, trendy baby name then. But now, because it's kind of fallen out of fashion, a lot of Lindas we think of are kind of on the older side. But not all Lindas, but there are some out there. But I don't know, there can be a baby Linda in 2022, why not? There clearly are some. And here in the UK, it's not even in the top 1,000 names at all. Linda, whatever relevancy it has, is much more stateside than here in the UK. Famous Lindas include, of course, Linda Cardellini. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. Apologies if I got it wrong. She is a terrific actor. She is recently co-starring in Dead to Me. The 3rd series has just come out. Go watch Dead to Me, it's great. I haven't finished the 3rd series yet, haven't begun it yet, but really great show there. She also played Velma in the 2 first live-action Scooby-Doo animated films, which are great fun. And she's also Hawkeye's wife in the Avengers MCU stuff. I can't remember the actual character's name. I don't want to refer to her just as a character's wife, because people are more than just other people's spouses, but that's basically how she's portrayed. She's a really good actress. I'm really sorry I can't remember the character's name in Hawkeye, in Marvel, in the Avengers, but she's in those. She's great. Cool. Go check out her stuff. And of course, there's also Linda McMahon. She is the Linda who comes most to mind for myself when I hear the name Linda. She was a politician. She was part of Trump's administration, I believe. However, she's most famously linked with the WWE, where she was the chairwoman for a spell, I believe. She's of course the wife of Vince McMahon, the former chairman, current chairman of WWE as well. But Linda is very much her own character and figure in the WWE universe. WrestleMania 17, when she stands up from that chair, oh my word, what a pop. Oh, goosebumps just thinking about it. And of course, there's Linda McCartney, musician. I believe she was a member of Wings. She was definitely Paul McCartney's wife, among other things, unto herself. I know Linda McCartney best for being a vegetarian. Of course, she's vegetarian, I'm vegetarian. And to this day, she, even though she passed away quite a long time ago now, her sort of range of vegetarian food, really tasty. Good stuff. I think it's vegan. Maybe it's just vegetarian. I'm not sure. But if you all don't want to eat meat, go check out Linda McCartney's fake meat stuff. Really good. Some of it feels a bit gross. Like they do Linda McCartney chicken buckets. I don't know. I feel like she'd be turning on her grave if she heard that. Sometimes it feels a bit questionable, but it's tasty. I haven't had the bucket of fake Linda chicken yet, but it's probably quite tasty. But anyway, that's just about everything you guys need to know with the name Linda. But what are your thoughts on this name? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Do you know anyone with the name Linda? Are you called Linda yourself? Let me know down in the comments below. And of course, I just want to share some of the thoughts you guys had on last week's name of Fiona. Sydney M said, Fiona seems to be a popular animal name. I work in a shelter and we've had our fair share of Fionas and Finns. Yeah, it's interesting how certain names get linked with pets, especially the name Finn. I've only met many pet Fionas, but I've met a load of pet Finns. I know loads of dogs called Finn. It's a great dog name. It's interesting how sort of certain names get linked with animals more than humans. My friends have a joke, there's a certain name one of my other friends has, who I'm not going to mention, that they have a dog name. I'm not going to mention the name because it's not worth, because I'm sure if you have that name, but they're like, haha, your name is a dog name, and I kind of see it. Our Lady of Darkness said, being a Fiona, I got so much crap from other kids at school for being the only one with the name. It continued after another Fiona moved to the school, but she didn't. It died down until that bloody movie character. Yeah, so kids are hard, man, and school can be tough, especially if you have a name that becomes deeply linked with a fictional character. When I was a kid, this is a niche reference. When I was a child, a film called Thunderpants came out. I might have mentioned this before, but when I was a kid, a film called Thunderpants came out. It's like this sort of indie British film. It had Rupert Grint in it. He had just done the first 1 or 2 Harry Potter films, but he wasn't the main character. The main character was a kid who had really big loud... Oh, I just spilled tea all over myself. The main kid was someone who did really big loud farts. I'm not making this up, and like it ended up with him being able to control like a rocket ship with his farts. The main kid, that farted kid, he was called Patrick Smash. That tormented me for a bit at school, to say the least. It wasn't too bad because not many kids knew about this film, but it caught wind, pun intended, and yeah, like there's a kid who farted a lot in a film who was called Patrick. Luckily, when a certain starfish came along, that kind of took care of that. And Ben Bain said, pro tip, if you call your son Fionn, I highly recommend not putting him in a French school ever. So I checked French to see what does Fionn mean in French, and it means butt, I believe. Arse, bum, bottom, whatever term you want to use. It means that. Yeah, I get why you wouldn't call a French kid that, but I don't know. Worse than being, not as bad as being named after a kid who farts a lot, as we established with maple tea everywhere. So yeah. Go suggest some names down in the comments below, and I'll pick 3 of those to be put into a poll exclusively for my patrons to vote on. And then the winning name from that poll will be the name covered in the next Fun with First Names video. So if you enjoy the channel, want to help support it, and have a say in what names get explained, please do consider becoming a patron. As I said, guys, just takes $1 a month to help out in a huge way. If you can afford to donate $1 a month, you're going to get ad-free videos, you're going to get exclusive content, you're going to get a chance to say what names get explained here on the channel. You get like the full name explain experience is what I also like to call it. Just by donating $1 a month, that's all I ask, that's all I think this channel deserves really. Like if you want to donate more, that's great, and there's more rewards waiting for you there if you do choose to, but all I ask is $1 a month of your money. If you think you could take like $1 or a pound coin and just throw it in the sea and not be too upset, then maybe you could donate it to Name Explain instead, if you want to. Down to you. Carry on watching like anyway. It's always going to be free. This stuff. I'm never going to put all of the videos behind a paywall. That's never going to happen. There'll be a link down below. And of course, if you want to donate just one time, leave a super thanks because that's amazing too. But anyway, that's more than enough for myself. I need to go clean myself because I spilled tea all down myself. Don't forget to go follow me on Instagram where I'm Name Explain YT, and don't forget to go join the Facebook group Friends of Name Explain where you can chat with myself and many other name nerds. Okay guys, take care. Should we start filming? I'm gonna hold my cup of tea because why not? Good stuff. This is hard. I've got to click that button, have this one, have this in another hand. Anyway, worth it. Anglo-Saxon? Famous Lindy's? Oh, am I recording? Yeah. Okay. I've just been in the sea, Amber, so I'm quite cold, but genuinely, Amber, I got tea all down my jumpsuit. Very sad. I would show you, but I don't know if I can get my I don't know if I can get my leg that high, but you gotta take my word for it.